Alright, so here we are doing the preview for the Real Madrid versus CSKA Moscow game this midweek in the UEFA Champions League group stage 2018-19. I have my good friend Eric here. Eric is a Real Madrid fan and also Liverpool fan. I don't know how much of a emotional turmoil you went through in the last Champions League final.
It was a tough game. Hopefully, we'll play good in this time. I'm really looking forward to have a really good season good run in the Champions League.
Are you still hurting over that Ramos challenge on Salah?
Right now Ramos is not playing Salah. That's all I have to say at this moment. Let's talk about the starting lineup for Real Madrid versus CSKA. So, who do you think will start in the goalie?
I think, of course, Navas is going to start. He seems to be the cup keeper for Lopetegui, as Costa seems pretty set on La Liga. Although I don't think he's entirely happy with it, missing out on playing in the Champions League. But as things stand, I don't think Courtois is going to be only the league keeper, and Navas is only going to exclusively play in the cups. He might get a game here and there in La Liga, and Courtois might sneak in one or two games in the cups as well.
Yeah, we can hope Costa will do that. And let's talk about defenders. Sergio Ramos, hero from the last previous Champions League, and hero for a lot of these matches. So he's not gonna be playing. So do you think Varane will be able to hold the fort with his experience and a string of new players?
Yes, I think Real Madrid are going to play with a few new faces here. Odriozola or Reguilon may get their debuts, but I don't think both of them are going to start in this game because it's a Champions League game. It's away from home. Away from home in a Champions League night, I don't think he's going to go with two young, inexperienced fullbacks. Either Carvajal or Nacho are going to be on the starting lineup. But Vallejo, he's coming off from a big injury layoff. He looks pretty set to start the game with Varane. I think a rest for Ramos was important. He started literally every game and played almost every minute of La Liga this season. He needs his rest as well. So I think interesting choice from Lopetegui to rest him on a away game. Although this is the group stage. Looking forward to seeing some new faces in the defense.
Me as well. I really do want to see a string of new players, earning their strands in the game. So now let's talk about the midfielders. About Casemiro. Do you think the absence of Ramos will ensure that Casemiro will be adding to the defensive fort of Real?
Interesting question there. I think yes, Casemiro obviously adds a lot of value to Real Madrid's defensive scheme as well.
Yes.
But I would love to see some of Marcos Llorente's game against CSKA. I think he had a magnificent season with Alaves when he was on loan, but he hasn't got as many minutes that a player of his quality should get under Zidane and also under Lopetegui up until now. But and I think Llorente is slightly better with his passing as well than Casemiro. It might seem a bold statement to feel, but
at this stage, Casemiro has won a lot of Champions Leagues now.
That's what I said, that it might seem a bold statement to a lot of people, but I think Llorente is slightly better with his passing. I would love to see him at some stage of this game.
So, we were talking about Bale. He's injured again. And what do you think about the forward lineup of Real Madrid without Bale this time?
Bale has injured his abductor again, probably for the 20th time during his Madrid career. Very unfortunate once again. We'll have to see when he comes back. But I think Benzema is going to lead the line for Real Madrid in this game. And he's probably going to lead the team as well, since Marcelo and Ramos are not playing. I see Asensio and Vasquez accompanying Benzema in the forward line, but I would love to see some of Mariano and Vinicius at some point in this game, because
as a super sub, I take it.
Yes, of course, because I think Lopetegui giving an opportunity to Vinicius against Atletico in the derby was a big statement. I think Vinicius is going to get important minutes here and there in big games, this is a Champions League game. He's an 18-year-old kid who just got his full debut the other day. I think it would be very exciting to see some of Vinicius in this game.
So that's the 11. And judging by your response, I take it the formation would be a basic, classic Real Madrid 4-3-3.
Yes, classic Real Madrid 4-3-3 with Courtois in goal, Carvajal, Vallejo, Varane, and probably Nacho in the back. This would be my preferred back four for this game. In the midfield, I would like to see Llorente starting, but Lopetegui might just go with Casemiro to start with.
Only for this game.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think Casemiro is going to start a lot of games upcoming as well. But yes, so the midfield would be something like Casemiro, Ceballos, and probably Cruz. Modric might just be rested for the start. And in the forward line, we're going to get Benzema, Asensio, and Vasquez. But I would love to see Mariano and Vinicius joining that at some point.
Well, let's move on from the Real Madrid formation to Real Madrid's opponent this time, CSKA Moscow. They have played against Real, if I remember correctly, in 2011-12 against not in Luzhniki. They've actually played in their own stadium and drew against Real Madrid 1-1. Although they lost to Real in the away game. Let's talk about CSKA's previous matches. I think they drew against the Czech Republic side, Victoria Pleasant. They drew 2-2 with Zagoyev not scoring. They are number 10.
CSKA has played well in the previous game, although they drew, but they had a lot of possession, a lot of passing sequences were good, and they have actually 3 members from the World Cup playing the team of Russia. I can take the captain Mario Fernandez and Zagoyev, although Zagoyev did not get into the score sheet last time. It would be interesting how his experience comes handy for CSKA against a relatively inexperienced Real Madrid defense in the game.
So after that being said about CSKA Moscow, so let's talk about the prediction for the game. So any thoughts for the game?
I'm not a big fan of predictions overall, but I think CSKA has a goal in this game somewhere, so I would go with 3-1 Real Madrid.
Well, for me, it's a 2-1 Real Madrid, but we do want to see a very competitive match.
Of course, it's a Champions League game. We, of course, want to see a competitive game. So that's a wrap from here, from Toronto. I think we are all eagerly waiting for the Champions League game this midweek. So stay tuned.
Cheers.